Practicing the moving meditation for the participants' mental flexibility is important for many reasons, but I want to explain to you why it's so important, because understanding the why, particularly if you're a facilitator, will allow you to take this particular concept in the program and apply it to the specifics of your situation or your participants' needs. Understanding the why also makes you acutely aware of the miracle that is our material human body. And once you start looking at that, that's a gift you cannot forget. Interestingly, what I just said is a pretty good indication of how the facilitator's own mental flexibility benefits. The left brain understands the what. The right brain takes that understanding and adapts the concept. The primary impact is that practicing moving meditation requires participants to shift their concentration from traditionally left brain activities like order of steps 1 through 12, or direction of pivots, or shifting their focal point on a certain count, to right brain activities like mentally rehearsing the moving meditation, proper alignment of their joints and ligaments, mentally imagining themselves working through the practice. Once that becomes habitual, once that shift between their left brain and right brain, it doesn't require so much effort. Once that begins to move smoothly and freely, that's what I call flow. When that happens, the moving meditation begins to feel like a habit, like you flow from one movement to the next. And then your mind opens up to be able to meditate. Before I begin moving meditation, I use this prayer to set my intention. I then practice a set number of rounds and then close the practice with this prayer. In the middle, some participants use memorized verses or meditate on their breathing. Whatever they choose, make sure they choose something specific. I also wanted to pass along a comment that I got. It was a good reminder that mental flexibility is accessible to anyone. John was putting together some moving boxes. A lot of moving boxes. And he said at first it was kind of like a puzzle. You know, there were instructions, of course, and there were diagrams, and then he'd have to manipulate the box. And at first it took a lot of brain power. It was kind of tedious going between all that. But eventually, after he put together a few boxes, it became automatic. That exercise started to flow, and it got easier and easier. So John said, I thought this might be a really good exercise for the wellness program. And so it would. So it's nice when you recognize that, when you're aware of that, and you pay attention to that, then you can bring your awareness and your knowledge to that particular activity, and that then becomes a mental flexibility exercise. That's the way you kind of apply that to your life. In that way, almost anything can be therapeutic, and life itself is restorative. Okay, so leave me a comment and let me know what activities have you or your participants been involved with that are mental flexibility exercises. Have you put together some boxes? Maybe a multi-step recipe. Expressive Avenue's wellness focus is for active aging adults. Program manual and companion journal now available at Amazon.com.